Story 1. Am I the a-hole for refusing to put my future at risk for my girlfriend's mother? I, 25M, have been with my current girlfriend, 24F, we'll call her Jess, for a little under 3 years now. Her mother, 50F, we'll call her Sue, has been in a relationship with someone, 69M, we'll call him David, after Jess's father passed a few years ago. Jess and her little sister, 17F, we'll call her Eve, have never liked David. About a year after Jess and I got together, Sue and David got married. Before the marriage, David seemed like someone who would just sit around the house all day, but would still go out every so often. Afterwards, it got worse. Sue would have to beg David to take her places since she can't drive. All 5 of us live in a 4-bedroom together that I moved everyone into after Sue, Jess, Eve, and I decided that we no longer wanted to live in a big city back in 2023. Sue owns the house and pays the bills. I just got all the belongings to it. Fast forward to this year and I'm working 2 jobs to try to make ends meet. One's driving school buses and the other is as a diesel mechanic. Jess is trying to get a job, but is having trouble considering her medical history. Eve is still in high school, and Sue won't sign off for her to get a job. Neither Sue nor David work, and both are on food stamps. But that's not the problem. This morning, Sue asked Jess and I to pick up a bag of devil's lettuce from one of Jess's cousins for David, since we were already going to take Jess's aunt to the doctor and bring her food because she has heart problems, which Sue has asked us to do. Jess and I don't smoke, and I refused since I already have an active speeding ticket and a concealed carry permit. Needless to say, Sue lost it and started cussing Jess out while we were on our way to her aunt's house, demanding that I needed to leave because I don't pay for anything. Meanwhile, on at least 5 separate occasions, I had to find a way to scrape some money together to be able to pay the bills because Sue didn't have enough money and David wouldn't give her any. Jess is on my side because she knows that if I get arrested for possession, I can face termination from my school bus job. Jess has assured me multiple times that I made the right choice, but I'm second-guessing myself since I don't want to be the reason Jess and Sue have a bad relationship. Am I really in the wrong, or is it in my head? TLDR. I refuse to put my future at risk for my girlfriend's mother's husband, and my girlfriend's mother wanted me to move out because of it. Edit. I seem to have left out the part where Sue is on disability for the messed up tendon in her foot, dyslexia, and cancer. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for not letting the previous owner of my house come back in to see it again after she had moved out? I, 25F, have been living at this house with my parents since 2020. This house was built and owned by one family before us. The OG owners were a carpenter, his wife, and their daughter. The owner and his friends moved out to the country and built houses all next door to each other in 1976, so them and their families were all super close. The owner's wife passed away in 2014, and the daughter moved out in 2015. The guy kept living here by himself until he passed away in 2020. After his passing, his daughter traveled back to the state and sold the house to us before leaving again. When we moved in, we found a few boxes of old family pictures, expensive carpentry tools, and we found super expensive cooking supplies. We contacted the daughter of the owner so that we could return the items to her, but she didn't answer. Over the years, we continued to try and contact her through text messages, phone calls, emails, and we even tried to have the neighbor contact her. In 2022, she finally answered and screamed at my mom for continuously trying to talk to her. My mom explained everything to her, but the girl said that she didn't want any of her parents' things. Then she called my mom a few explicit words and hung up. After that situation, we stopped trying to contact her, and we sold the carpentry tools, sold some of the cooking supplies, and we gave the family pictures to the neighbor that we knew was friends with the previous owner. We thought that was the end. However, last week I was in the backyard, and my neighbor called me over to his fence. He had a younger woman with him who introduced herself as the girl who used to live in the house that I live in now. She thanked me for giving the family pictures to the neighbor, and then she asked me about the carpentry and cooking supplies. When I told her that we sold them, she lost her mind. She was angry that we would get rid of something that was so meaningful to her parents. When I explained that we had tried to give them back to her, she called me a liar and a bitch. Then she asked to see the inside of the house for old time's sake, but I didn't like how she treated me. And I didn't like what she said to my mom in 2022, so I told her no. This made her get even angrier, and it made the neighbor angry as well. They both yelled at me while I hurried inside and locked the doors. About 10 minutes later, the girl was banging on the front door saying that she wanted to come inside. My parents told her through the door that she couldn't come in. This made the neighbor pissed, so he joined her and nearly left a dent in the door. We asked them to leave for over an hour before they finally left. Now it's been a week, and all of the neighbors know about what happened. They keep giving us dirty looks and doing that classic old person thing of grunting whenever we try to talk to them. They all adore that girl because she grew up hanging out with them and their kids, so now we are the most hated people in our neighborhood. Am I the a-hole? Story 3. Am I the a-hole? For telling my dorm mates that I won't be contributing to anything. I, 18F, stay in a college dorm built sort of like an apartment. There are 3 beds and 2 baths with a full kitchen. I live with 4 other females. Recently, I have stopped contributing to the dorm because I'm no longer here as much. Due to work and family, I only stop by to sleep and grab a change of clothes. While I am here, though, for my classes, I make sure to pick up after myself and make sure my things are in order to the best of my capabilities. Around the middle of first semester, everyone has been falling off when it comes to chores and groceries. Sometimes the sink will be stacked with dishes, or the trash would be falling over. I tried my best to help and do the dishes, or take out the trash, but my efforts are always wasted because it goes back to what it was. Not even 2 hours later. My roommate had messaged me asking if I could do the dishes, and I told her that I would, while also politely telling her that I don't see a need to, because I'm not the one causing the mess. During the argument, I stated that as an adult, I pick up after myself, so that I don't cause a burden to anyone, and that I don't buy groceries because I won't be eating them with other things included. I see where she is coming from, but I still don't understand how it's my problem when I'm not the one causing it. Am I the a-hole? Edit. In this case, I'm only speaking of groceries and dishes. That was the main distress in our argument. I take care of communal chores like vacuuming when needed, taking out trash, and cleaning the bathrooms.